What if money wasn't a source of stress anymore? What if you just had enough, plenty, you could do whatever you wanted, you were paid for just being yourself, you didn't have to do anything you don't want to do in order to have money? What if money was a non-issue in your life? Whoa, it's like life-changing. We can't even imagine that, most of us. It's like completely outside of our realm of possibility. Well, I have made May the money month of May. And in this month, I'm going to bring you expert interviews. People who have figured this out. People who have, really found a way to make money work for them in their life. They've gotten clarity around their limiting beliefs and they've knocked them out. And they're really on the path to having money be a non-issue for themselves. Right? And I'm going to give you my own tips and tricks. And in this video right now, I'm going to show you the now way, if I need a lot of money now, or the long term. So I have a long-term strategy that I'm working with to eliminate money issues from my life completely, which has helped tremendously since I found it. And I will tell you about my experience with the now way of dealing with money. So I'm coming at you for the short term and the long term. And by the end of this month, I promise you, you will have a new technique to use to help you make money a non-issue. So everybody's going to really respond differently to different techniques because of their own set of beliefs and what they're dealing with in their own life. And so I'm going to give you a bunch. You don't have to use them all. Use what resonates with you. Use what you find to be exciting or you're curious about. Forget about the rest. This is not about making you overwhelmed. This is about helping you break free from money. Okay? The victimization you feel, you just don't have enough. You have to do stuff you don't like to do in order to get money. There's often resentment. There's just so much stuff we pile on ourselves about money, and I want to help you end that. Okay? Deal? Awesome! Let's go! Before I get into the 2 strategies I have for dealing with money, I want to tell you how I think about money. Now, all of you watching me know by now that I really, truly feel a knowing that our life is created by our higher self. Everything we see is us. Everything is just a reflection of who we are on the inside, how we're feeling about things, the beliefs that we hold. You've heard that, the outside is a reflection of us, that it's a mirror. Well, I definitely believe that all that's true. And I've had so many experiences in my life to really prove that to me. So that's number 1. And what does that mean about money? So where is money? It's in our life, right? So money is us. The money that we have is us. The money that we don't have is us. We really do control every way that money shows up for us. So, that's good and bad, right? You're like, great, well, I can know that, but then what do I do with it? So, this brings us into my long-term strategy for money. My absolute favorite book, Busting Loose from the Money Game. And he also has a Busting Loose from the Business Game, and both will tell you this in more detail. It'll explain about what money is, what money isn't, how it's showing up in your life and why, and how to really break free from the victimization of money, how to remove those blocks that are blocking the money from coming to you, and the role of money and how to think about it as a game instead of as this life or death situation. It will really free you from any kind of victimhood you feel around money, any kind of have-tos or shoulds you feel around money. And please trust me here. This book, every single person that I've talked to that's read it, it has been a total game changer. And I'll give you an example for how it changed my life. So I read it at the end of last year, and the book completely resonated with me. I mean, it's all about how we are the ones that are creating all of this. Our higher self actually is everything around us. We're like living in a hologram. Everything outside of us is a hologram that we are creating. Okay? And I got that. I was totally into it. I mean, reading the whole book was just It gave me shivers and chills the whole time. I couldn't stop smiling because I finally found someone else who really put everything all together. And if you're familiar with Bashar, the channeled entity, then you'll really, really get into this book. Last year, I had enough money. Money was rolling in, but I've always been one of those people who I'll make a bunch of money and I'll just spend the money. So I'll make a bunch of money, I'll pay my bills, and then whatever I've got left, normally I'll save a little bit, but I'll upgrade my equipment. Like I'll buy a new camera, like I just did, or I'll buy some lights, or I'll buy a new computer, or I'll put some money into my car, or whatever. I don't really accumulate money, I just roll it over. And so I always have more than enough. I always have more than enough to pay my bills. I'm always happy. Money's never really an issue for me. And so that was going along last year. And then January came, and the first week of January, nothing was coming in. And December had been really, really slow. And because it was the holidays, I spent up my money. So, rent was due on January 1st for my office. I had bills coming up the first week, and nothing was coming in. I was like, holy crap, what the hell's going on? But then I realized, I'm creating all of this, and I'm doing this as a little test to myself. I'm seeing if I have any kind of resistance, any kind of mental blocks, any belief blocks that are still there, even though I had done the process in the book and things had really changed for me. So I just felt that this was a little test, and that all I needed to do was work on knocking out those blocks to the money, and then it would start to roll even more than before. Except, that was a little challenging because, again, I had to pay these people, right? And I tried to barter for one of them, and she said no. So a couple days go by, and no rent money, and then all of a sudden, okay, as I was doing the process in those days leading up to it, the money started coming, okay? But just enough, just what I needed. And so then the next day, after I'd paid the rent, I had no more money, and another bill was due. And then a few hours before the bill was actually due, or before I had to pay it, where I'd get a late fee, the money came in. And then the next day, the same thing happened. Just enough money came in right before the bill was due to pay off what I needed to pay off. And so you can really see here, like, sometimes you're going to be tested. Sometimes you're going to have to know without a shadow of a doubt that you are the creator, okay? And you will give yourself these opportunities to trust that, okay? And to build up that muscle. But what I learned here was that it worked, all right? I was tested for like 2 weeks where I'd get a little bit of money and then pay the bill, and then I'd get just a little more money and then I'd pay a bill. And then the floodgates opened up. It just keeps getting bigger and better. And I want to tell you that because, when you shift something so massive as how you feel about money, how you relate to money, and what you do with your money and how you feel about it, and knowing that it's you, your life will shift. Your whole life will shift, because now you'll know money is not the result of going to a job. Money is not the result of working really hard. All right? And read the book and he'll get more into this. But I just wanted to show you from my life that, like, it doesn't matter what you do on the outside world. It's all about the inside and how your beliefs really let that in. So abundance is yours to be had. Abundance is your birthright. Money is your birthright. All you have to do is get your inner game on track, okay? And it'll start to come in. So Busting Loose from the Money Game. Totally read it. It's amazing. It will change your life for sure. All right? You may go through a little test, which we all do, or a big test. Some of us go through big tests. In the book, he had big tests. But it's all in an effort to just drain away those false beliefs. So it's all for the good. And in time, when you have a test like that, you'll be happy because you'll know that you're really making progress in draining away those beliefs. He calls them eggs in the book. It's quite nice. All right, so that's my long-term goal. My long-term goal is to drain away all of my beliefs, okay, so that money is effortless, and I know that money is me, And so that anytime I want something, I can just know that I will create it, because why would I hold back from myself? If I want to go to Hawaii for a month, I'll have the money. If I want a new car, I'll have the money, because it's just me giving it to me. Right? And if this sounds way too out there and too good to be true, I mean, I'm living it. It's literally happening to me this year. Okay? And you can read the book and read lots of other stories about how it's changed other people's lives. And you can ask any of my boot campers, because it's doing the same for them too. Okay, so thanks for sticking around. Number 2, how to get money right away when you need it. Okay, don't want to go through the testing phase first. You don't want to read a long book first. I totally understand. So, even though I know that I create money, I still know that I have some of those little beliefs in there, right? So, I had a bunch more bills than normal to pay in March. You know, I had a new healthcare bill, I had lots of business legal expenses that I was getting into. Nothing bad, just good stuff. But I had a lot more to pay for than normal, and I could afford it with what I was making, but I didn't want to spend all my fun money on, you know, business stuff. And so I thought I'd make it a game. I thought, why not play a little money game, manifest this extra money, so that it doesn't have to come out of my fun money. And I did, and it worked, and it was magical. So I used Denise Duffield Thomas's Manifest Money in 24 Hours free class. It's just a free hour audio. She does pitch you into her money boot camp at the end, but you don't have to do that. I did not enroll in her boot camp to make this work. Okay, I'm in her boot camp now because I thought it would be fun, and it is. But the free call has everything that you need, and it worked for me with just using the free call. So I just wanted to tell you about what happened to me. So this is my sheet. She goes through some steps in the call where you work on your money beliefs a little bit, but she has a process where you write down what you want, you write down how much it costs, you write down the total of what it will cost, and then in the next few days, you just, whatever you need, you write here, and then you just keep deducting what it is that you get, whether you find a penny on the corner or you get the new income that you'll generate through doing this. So I did that, and all of the money that I accumulated over those 3 days was new. It's not recurring income. It's just from these new things that I decided to take action on. And I made $1,259.82 in 3 days. 3 days of new stuff, new income, not regular clients, not recurring income. Pretty cool, right? I make money by inspiration. Isn't that cool? Okay, you can do it too. And she does say that for beginners, if you've never done her process before, to give yourself more than 24 hours. But if you get good at it, then it will only take you 24 hours. So that's why I gave myself 3 days instead of 24 hours. So, is this getting a little brighter for you, or are you still like, this is so crazy, this will never work for me? Because it's okay if you're there. But if you want to start changing your relationship with money to make it a non-issue in your life, then try these out. Like I said, make it a game. If you make it serious, it's not going to work. Do a what if. What if this were to work? What if this was to actually happen? Wouldn't that be fun? Make this a fun, enjoyable thing for you, and then just go with it. See what happens, and tune in to the interviews that I'll be bringing you this month and the other videos that I'll do myself. All right, and below this video, you will find a link for Denise's free call and for Robert Scheinfeld's. I'll put a webinar link down there from him and the listing to his book, okay? I love you guys so much, and I know that this is possible for you, and that's why I'm doing this, all right? Because my life has been changed so much by what I've learned and what I've put into practice, and I only want the same for you, you know? So know that I'm rooting for you. I'm here to hold the space of possibility for you so that you can step in and start playing with this, and you can see that it works for you too, all right? So make it happen. Lots of love. Stay tuned. I will bring you much more this month, And I wish you all the best success. And let me know what happens for you, okay?